So here we are. It is E3 day. Like it's the first day of a proper E3. EA did something stupid yesterday. And I wanted to make a video. One, because I like to talk into a microphone. And two, because I thought it would be a prime time for some E3 recollection, right? Yes, I believe so. Now, a note before we begin. Yes, I'm unshaven. I'm a mess of a man at the moment. Please excuse my state. I've been editing for Zeldathon intro and not intro, but a lot of Zeldathon stuff for the past 3 days without leaving the office much at all. Mostly to sleep and the occasional food break. But I'm done with my video editing, and I leave for Zeldathon. Not tomorrow, not Monday, but Tuesday. And I've done nothing of packing. I have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I want to talk about E3 for a second. So E3 has changed a lot since the early days of E3. Like when streaming E3 first became a thing, I remember watching E3 on G4 TV. Remember when G4 was a channel? If you don't remember that, it was a channel for gamers. It eventually became, I believe, like part of Spike TV or whatever. It became a bro channel. Whatever the case, there was some okay programming on it. And the main attraction is it had E3 you could watch on TV, which was important in a time where internet was a little bit like broadband was not yet quite as much of a thing. There were still plenty of people dial up back in like 2004 and 5. And so I believe E3 being on G4 was really cool. I remember watching with my one friend in the basement and not really knowing when the schedule was. So it was just like, we were just like, ogling whatever came by. Of course, it was, a time where I got Nintendo Power delivered to my front door every dang month. And I remember after E3 getting to read all the magazine specials and stuff. And eventually I would start to like understand that E3 was like an event that happened every year. And that was like a big thing. Like I didn't quite understand because I didn't really have the internet to like research it either. And so I eventually realized, okay, it's a thing that happens around June every year. And I remember starting to hype it up whenever E3 would come because around that time I started to be able to have access to internet, at least, some internet. So I would remember like making like my own E3 signs and hanging them around my room and inviting friends over for E3 watch parties. And I still try to do those. At least I did a couple of years ago. E3's kind of changed in more recent years. Obviously the format has changed. Like Nintendo doesn't do a press conference. Sony's just skipping this E3. Like the digital format of, has changed things tremendously. Like we're about an hour away when I'm recording this from the Microsoft press conference, and I'm really excited for that. Even though I don't own an Xbox, I don't have interest in owning an Xbox. I have a PC, so I mean I can play some games that are PC Xbox exclusive. I can do that a little bit, but it's still interesting to me. It's still exciting that E3 exists, and it's still like something that you can look forward to as a gamer. But obviously, with how digital stuff has changed, like you lose a little bit of that magic. I posted a tweet out on my Twitter account at SuperMCGamer in case you don't follow for whatever reason, with a song that was released for the 2006 E3. And for reference, the 2006 E3 was directly before the release of the Wii. This is around the time when we pretty much, I believe we still know it as the Revolution. So before the Switch, before the Wii U, before the Wii's release, and it's a song called "Wake Me Up When We're at E3." It's an animation that was done a long time ago, released I believe on Newgrounds, and the singer's not great, kind of woo doo 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 doo, and it's a parody of "Wake Me Up When September Ends," but it's very charming because like when you look back at it, like they talk a lot about like UMDs like for the PSP. Like that was the thing. They mentioned snaking and Mario Kart. It's like a real product of its time. And when I listen to that, it brings me back. And so for some of you that might give you nostalgia too, but maybe not, especially if you're been mostly into E3 as of like 2012 later, 2013 even, like around the time that Nintendo started to screw up their press conferences pretty majorly, and then they decided, you know what? maybe this on stage thing isn't as cool as what we could do if we just made a sick recorded short. And like, them switching to a recorded format with the Nintendo Direct really led to a lot of really cool things that you can't do on a stage, like the skits, like the puppets they did for Iwata's last year. They did a lot of like really cool things, and like, I don't know, they made it very fun. And everybody thinks about E3 press conferences being like, not I don't want to use the word, the word, the word, the word. We don't want to use that one. But there were awkward moments. Some of them felt manufactured. There's the moments of they're talking about Forza and a giant car is lowered from the ceiling. Like, just like a car is there. It's like, about that. There's musical performances that everybody in the audience is like, while there's a guy in the audience going, da 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 da, and everybody in the audience is like, where's the video game? Yeah, you're good, but like, I don't know your song. I'm not gonna sing along. There's those weird awkward moments that every E3, like, it doesn't matter how many times it happened, every corporation would make the same mistakes. They'd have the gameplay demo go wrong. They'd have the old stuttering videos. Like, okay, can we restart it? Okay, cool. You have those little moments. It's like, how do these major corporations screw up like this? And I mean, I still don't know. I mean, obviously it's a complex setup. I mean, even with Zellathon, despite our years of doing it, we still have technical problems even as early as like, the first hour of the marathon that we have to solve. So, I mean, I understand it, but I mean, a lot more people paid, to make those productions. And I miss those moments. Like, I think that we're steering away from it, especially with Sony did a really weird thing last year, and then they're not doing anything this year. Microsoft is the only one left with a proper press conference of the big three: Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. And then you have things like Devolver Digital, which all they do is they take the Nintendo, we're going to make a digital short, and instead they just make it a absolute disgusting array of memes and stupidity that it's funny. I don't think anybody asked for it. I'll watch it. I mean, luckily we saw things like Bethesda, so you can have Todd Howard up on stage being a goob. I don't know. Especially now we live in a post-Reggie time and a post-Iwata time where, Iwata passed away, and that's very unfortunate, and Reggie has left the company. And, Doug Bowser was up on stage for the Smash tournament. He awarded the trophies or the medals or whatever. That was cool, and that was his first thing as like, I'm Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo. But it's different. Like, and like, he's got some big shoes to fill, and I don't know if he's going to fill them in the way that he might just buy new shoes instead of and just not be Mr. I'm Doug Bowser, president, instead just be president behind the scenes. Let other people have, I don't know, Miyamoto's still around. I don't know. It's just weird. We live in a different time. And so I wanted to make this video just kind of be like, I miss the old E3. I'm very excited for the future, and I understand why it's changed, and I'm fully accepting of it. I'm like, sick. Just show me some dang Link's Awakening footage. I'll be happy. Walk away. Whatever Microsoft shows us, everybody's like, there's going to be Banjo-Kazooie. If there is, then, well, I'm going to look like the fool, but, everybody's like, Nintendo's going to be there. And I'm like, okay, Toad. I mean, you might know because you're Toad. And he's like, Marbo! But, So yes, Zeldathon is coming up in a couple days, and I really hope you watch if you are at all interested inside The Legend of Zelda, or just liked watching good internet content. That's what we do. We put on goofs and goobers and all the time, and I'm really excited for it. I'm very exhausted. I've been working very hard on it. I got some more work to do today, more work to do tomorrow. Especially, I got to wash every piece of clothing because I had to take it all with me, basically. So I'm at a hotel for 10 days plus the wedding, so it's like I got 4 more days. Like, I'm gone for 2 whole weeks. I got to pack, my whole wardrobe, basically. Shoot. Got to figure out my office here. It's a mess. What do I have to do today? I have to figure out a couple things for the wedding. I have to finish the slideshows, which appear on screen. I got to figure out the setup day rollout plan, like who's doing what. I have to figure out the goofers for my run, my Skyward Sword run. I'm running Skyward Sword Hero mode. And I still got to do a tech checklist. A packing list, basically. I got stuff to do. Doesn't sound like a lot right now. That's because I'm starting to whittle it down because I don't want to have to do a bunch of stuff on Tuesday before I leave. I want to just be able to get in the car and just relax. Oh, I didn't prepare anything for show and tell. Do we want to do show and tell? Do I have anything nearby I can show and tell? Shoot. I mean, I have plenty of stuff, but like. Oh, okay. This is kind of a weirder show and tell. But something I've been trying to do recently is figure out organization for consoles and stuff at Zellathon. One issue we have at Zellathon a lot is like, all right, it's time for Twilight Princess. We need the Wii U and the game and a Pro controller or a gamepad. Where is it? Instead of having like a big box with every console in it, a big box with every controller in it, a big box with every power cord in it, a big box with every AV cable in it, instead I'm going to be using large Tupperware or small totes to hold the consoles. And so individually, it holds everything you need. You might be saying, MC, what's this Tupperware? So inside here, I have the 3DS with the capture unit within, a charger, the PC to capture it, and including the power cable for it, and a mouse. So that way, right here, and also there's the USB cable necessary. That's all in here. So that way, when it comes time for a 3DS game, it's like, well, where's the 3DS stuff? Grab this box, which I can, label in big letters on top, 3DS. This is the 3DS capture unit. I could put it in a couple games that we need for it as well if necessary, but, shouts to Kinstone. So I'm trying to do that more. I think it'd be a good thing. Is that a good show and tell? It's not a great show and tell. Another quick organization thing. I bought this purple gaff tape. I'm going to wrap this around my cables that need to come home. One problem I've had with Zellathon consistently is I bring a lot of my stuff from my house that I need for my personal stream, and then it gets put back into Zellathon storage. And I live, 7 hours away from where Zellathon is held. So it's like, I get home and I'm like, all right, I need to plug in my Wii U. Where's my HDMI cable for my Wii U? In storage, 7 hours away. So then I have to buy more HDMI cables. And this process continues until I have 1,000 HDMI cables, which I already do. I'm going to stop talking. I hope you enjoyed my E3 reflection. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you think about E3. And also including your comment just to tell me you've made it to the end of the video. Psyduck. Say Psyduck in your comment, and I'll know you watched the full thing. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.